Good morning. Welcome to the City Council meeting today. I would like to remind everyone to please make sure that all cell phones are turned to the off or vibrate position. Also, please be advised our City Council meetings are broadcast on Comcast Channel 99, AT&T UVerse, and the City of Gadsden YouTube channel. This meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. The chair calls on City Clerk Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilwoman Latham. Present. Councilman Smith.
Here.
Councilman Avery.
Here.
Councilman Back.
Here.
Councilman Wilson.
Here.
Councilwoman Manatra.
Here.
And Councilman Robinson.
Here.
We have a quorum present and our meeting is open for business. I'm going to ask Councilman Smith to lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you now the humblest way we know how. Come with bowed heads and humble hearts. Realize we need your leading, we need your guidance. Realize we're all mere men and we're apt to fall. We can do nothing without you. God, we thank you for your knowledge, your wisdom, your insight. We need it, God, to lead our constituents, to lead our city. We lift up our mayor, Mayor Ford. We lift up this council. We lift up every department head. I ask that you just continue to allow us to be led of the Spirit and to keep our citizens in mind in every decision that we make. And even throughout this meeting today, God, we ask that your Holy Spirit will lead and guide and direct. Lord, we give you all the praise, the glory, and all the honor. We ask it all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the work session and City Council meeting held on July 25th.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
Item 6, the chair will entertain a motion to ratify payment of accounts for the week of July 21st through the 27th.
So moved.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Item 7 is proclamations and commendations. We have none today. Item 8 is unfinished business. 8A is an ordinance authorizing conveyance of property located at 1601 Chancellor Avenue. This ordinance was presented last week for first reading. Mayron Omar Gomez Martinez has offered to pay $37,500 for the property. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President, I just want to clarify. This is primarily uninhabitable marshland. It's my understanding there on the backside of Chancellor Avenue that's been vacant for decades. It's never been developed. It's essentially a effort by a local business owner to add some padding to their property to prevent some issues we've had with homelessness and things like that, and break-ins and crime in the area. So again, this is property that's been owned by the city for decades that a local business owner has agreed to purchase. So
Thank you for that. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the ordinance, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item 9, this is the time and place as advertised to conduct a public hearing allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of an ordinance rezoning property located at 808 South 4th Street from O1 Office District to B2 General Business District. The current use of the property is a medical office, and the owner wants to establish an art gallery in the front portion of the building, which is not allowed use in an office district. The property qualifies for rezoning because it abuts an existing B2 General Business District. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this ordinance? Does anyone wish to speak in favor? This ordinance was presented today for the first reading, and the council will vote on it next week. Item 10, our next public hearing is an ordinance rezoning properties located on Fields Avenue from I-2 Heavy Industry District to I-1 Light Industry District. The owners requested the rezoning because potential tenants are interested in uses that are better suited under the light industry zoning designation. The property qualifies for rezoning because it abuts an existing I-1 light industry district. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this ordinance? Does anyone wish to speak in favor? If you'll please state your name and your address for the record, please, sir.
My name is Noah Smith, and my address is 915 Old Pleasant Valley Road.
Thank you.
Okay. I represent Free Range Properties. We bought the old AFCO meats over there in District 1. And there's only one parcel over there, or one section that's zoned I-2, and we think that that's no longer needed in that area. There's not enough to really do heavy industrial work, so we think moving it to I-1 makes more sense for, prospective tenants that we might rent the property to.
All right, well, thank you for that information. Anybody have any questions or any comments?
I will just say to the general public, when we do these public hearings, and I mentioned this last week, but I want to drive this point home. When we get to this point in the process where we have a public hearing, you'll notice that the council president says in the process of reading through this, that this has already been before the Board of Adjustments, and they had a meeting and they discussed what the impact would be on the local community potentially. All of those questions are asked once before we ever get to this public hearing process. So that Board of Adjustments unanimously recommended that we approve this, but we still go through this public hearing process. I just want you to know this isn't just the one time we talk about it and then go, yeah, whatever. It's already been vetted, so to speak, by another board before it comes to us.
All right, and just want to say thank you for your investment in our community. Sounds like you guys have, this isn't your first time to do this, so we appreciate you thinking of Gadsden and putting your money in the city of Gadsden.
It's our home.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Yes, sir. This ordinance has been presented today for the first reading, and the council will vote on it next week. Item 11 is our final public hearing. This is an ordinance rezoning property located at 809 Vandale Boulevard from R1 One-Family Residence District to I-1 Light Industry District. The owners purchased the property for the purpose of establishing a storage and repair garage for an automobile dealer. The property qualifies for rezoning because it abuts an existing I-2 heavy industry district. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this ordinance? Does anyone wish to speak in favor? This ordinance has been presented today for the first reading, and the council will vote on it next week. Item 12 is, this is the time and place to provide an opportunity for public comment regarding the City of Gadsden's application for a grant through the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant Program for fiscal year 2023 local solicitation. The amount is $45,054, and the proposed use of funds is for the Gadsden Police Department to purchase a camera system with thermal capability, a camera system with Wi-Fi connectivity, and a pole adapter, and 28 infrared laser and white light illumination systems. The Etowah County Sheriff's Office has opted to defer funding from the grant with the understanding that the equipment will be shared by both departments. The camera systems with Wi-Fi connectivity and the pole adapter, along with 6 of the illumination units, will be signed over to the Sheriff's Office. The grant application was approved by the City Council on July 25th, 2023, and a 30-day review by the governing body started on that date and ends on August 24th, 2023. Is there anyone who would like to speak in reference to this grant? The Police Department will submit an update to the Justice Department to complete the grant requirements. The Chair will now entertain a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing interlocal agreement with Etowah County Commission and Etowah County Sheriff's Office relating to the grant.
So moved.
Is there any discussion?
Again, just for explanation, this is just an agreement that a handshake agreement between us and the Sheriff's Department that we will receive this grant and purchase this equipment, and we will share certain parts of that equipment with the Sheriff's Office, and we're just agreeing to that co-use.
I think it also bears mentioning this is just another example of the Gadsden Police Department working with Etowah County Sheriff's Department to better serve our community. And so we appreciate the work that both departments are doing in these efforts. All right. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item 13 is a resolution reappointing members to the Design Review Board. This reappoints Nell Minton, Kevin Sylvie, Lance Smith, and Wesley Williams for terms expiring June 30th, 2026. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item 14 is a resolution accepting conveyance of property located at 2617 East Meagan Boulevard in District 1. The owner has offered to donate the property to the city. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution. Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item 15 is a resolution accepting conveyance of property located at 1858 Jefferson Street in District 5. The owner has offered to donate the property to the city. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. President, just to clarify this, from time to time, individuals will have a piece of property that they can no longer maintain or it's vacant. In this case, the owner actually lives in Aniana. They don't have any use for the property, so the city has agreed to take this property on. The owner gives the property to the city, and then we'll make arrangements in many instances to auction the property off to a local resident who may want to purchase it. So I imagine there'll be some more information on that process coming forward, but again, this is just a standard. This happens from time to time when somebody just wants to surrender their property to the city.
Thank you. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item 16 is a resolution authorizing continuance of agreement with Vital Records Control. This is for record storage and services for the Gadsden Police Department, and the amount is $355 per month. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, just again to explain, Mr. President, this is, as you guys can imagine, there are a lot of federal and state laws that govern the keeping of records by the police department of incident reports and crime reports and all those things. And in order to make sure that we follow our guidelines to a T and that we do everything we're supposed to do, we actually hire a third-party company to come in and make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do with maintaining those vital records. So this is just, again, what was the amount?
$355 a month.
$355 a month to make sure that we're maintaining those records in the way that we're supposed to do that.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item 17 is new business. We have none today. Item 18 is department reports, committees, and boards. Ms. Wethington? One of the busiest people that I know, Jen Wethington.
We try to keep everybody else busy. Today I did want to give an update on Parks and Recreation. And first of all, I want to start out with announcing that we're going to have a youth flag football league this year. And thanks to the Coach Rudolph Foundation, we are going to be able to offer the first 50 in each age group free entry to this.
Oh, wow.
So, and Mr. James and Mr. Charlie Parker are here to represent the Coach Rudolph Foundation. If you remember earlier this summer, the Rudolph Foundation donated $5,000 to Parks and Recreation to be utilized for kids and keeping them active. And this is one of the ways that we all agreed that it'd be a great use. So we do ask everybody to go to gadsden.recdesk gadsdenparksandrecreation.com, or they can go to Gadsden Parks and Recreation Facebook, and that will take them to the link for them to register. Like I said, the first 50 kids, boys and girls, that register for flag football, youth flag football, and ages 6 and under, 8 and under, 10 and under, and 12 and under will be free and covered up under this this great donation. And so I do want to give appreciation and thanks to these guys on the board and to the Coach Rudolph Foundation.
Thank you.
Our next thing is announcing the EYSL League, that is the Etowah Youth Soccer League. We do have registration open right now for that. That is for ages U4 all the way up to U18. Same website, gadsden.recdesk.com. It is $70 for each player to register, and we'll be, once registration closes, we'll start with practices and then go into our league for the fall for youth soccer. We also have youth softball sign up. This is for teams to sign up that may have played together in the spring and throughout the summer, and this will be the fall youth softball leagues. We also have the adult softball one pitch, and you need to register by tomorrow to be played Friday night at the Megan Complex. Then we have the Farmers Market on Friday. It's at Fifth Street Market. That is from 7 a.m. to noon. And on Friday evening, we have the summer concert with the Radio Incorporated. This is a mixture of 80s, 90s, pop, rap, country, everything, a little bit of everything at the AMP on Friday night, and that starts at 9 p.m. Nakalula Falls train is open today and tomorrow, and then it'll be running on the weekends due to some platform waiting on some supplies. We were able to open in yesterday, today, and Wednesday, and then we'll continue running the train on the weekends. The park is open 7 days a week. And then the world's largest yard sale is this weekend, starts, I believe, Thursday, and it starts at Nakalula Falls and goes all the way up to, Ohio, I believe, so. So we just ask everybody to come out, enjoy. If none of this is of interest, come out and enjoy our parks and have a great time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being
Can I
here.
ask a couple of questions?
Yeah, hey, Jen, hold on a second, please.
Just real quick, one is more of a point of clarification than a question. When you said, going back to the Etowah Youth Soccer League,
Yes.
so the registration fee for a child to participate will be $70.
Correct.
And just to make abundantly clear, there will be no additional field rental fees or anything by the city charged. That $70 will be inclusive?
That $70 does include the practices and the games and the officials and things that need. The only thing that may be an extra charge will be the uniforms for the kids. They
Right.
get together as a team to purchase those, but not for any practices. That is included in the registration. So when you register with us, we will schedule your practices on the practice fields and then also the games on the game fields. So unless you are an outlaying team, let's say Hoax Bluff, they may practice in Hoax Bluff and then come play their games here. But for people who register for Gadsden teams, will not be charged extra for practice. Now, if you are a travel team and
Correct.
you want to practice on any of our fields, that's soccer, baseball, softball, football, then there is a $10 an hour with 2-hour minimum to rent a field for practice.
$10 an hour, 2-hour minimum, so
Correct.
$20 for a 2-hour use of any field.
Correct. Now, if you want to go 3 hours, then it's $30.
Yeah, sure. But to be
2-hour
clear,
minimum.
that is the entire cost of the field. That's not per participant. If you were going to
No,
rent.
if you register with us, like in youth basketball or in baseball or in softball and in soccer, if you register through us in our program, we schedule your practice and there is no extra charge for those practices for our leagues when you register in our league.
So $70 gets your child registered for the Etowah Youth Soccer League, and
And this includes
outside of your
practice.
uniforms or whatever snacks or Gatorade the parents might want to bring to the practices, but this gets them registered in the league and gives them access to the practice fields and the game fields.
When we schedule their practices and the games, yes.
Okay, I just want to make abundantly clear for, I think,
Yes.
obvious reasons. And then the second question I have is, obviously, we made an announcement that probably could be misconstrued in a few ways with a partnership that we've modified with the Board of Education on some of our community centers moving forward. There was some confusion about some parks and rec programs that have existed in these community centers and whether those parks and rec programs would continue to exist or whether now those programs would be handled by the Board of Education or and to clarify, we've had partnership with the Board of Education on these community centers for quite some time, but we're giving over control of them to the Board of Education. So what will become of some of these parks and rec programs? Because I've gotten several questions about that.
Well, I know it's still being worked on, but we were undecided on having an after-school program in Walnut Park and Raymond Hill and Mitchell, but we are still going to have that after-school program, and that was probably the largest question on that we will continue in those three, just like last year.
Gotcha.
Nothing has changed. We are accepting. I will say the registration opened yesterday, and Raymond Hill is already full and with a waiting list. So we have ratios that we have to hit with staff per child, and that's a 1 to 22. So I mean, we can only take up to so many, depending on our staff capabilities, to the kids. So that is why there is a limited amount of space, and they are filling up. Walnut Park still has some openings.
And to clarify, I mean, now with this, of course, there are multiple programs that the Board of Education offers that they will be able to utilize these facilities to execute as well, right?
As far as my understanding,
Yeah,
yes.
I know you don't work for the Board of Education, but I mean, the Board of Education, I know for a fact, has some after-school programs that they fund themselves.
Right, they have the Edge, and they utilize their facility since we are in those gyms. We do keep those two programs separated, just due to they're in lead, and then we're in lead. So they run the Edge program, which is more based on tutoring, and then some recreational activities. But and we partner with mainly the playgrounds during that time. Our program is, we're here to keep an eye on your child. We are not school teachers. We do not tutor. So if you ask me to do Common Core, I'm sorry, I'm going to screw your kid up. You know? So we're here to have fun. We're recreation.
Well, thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
And so, to be clear, those programs are still going to be going on?
Correct.
Okay.
Just
all
as
right.
last year.
I
The
got that same
after-school
call.
program is the same as it was set up as it was last year.
And they
maybe
go
a
to
little
the
bit more
Park
limited.
and Rec desk to sign them up. That was the other question.
Gadsden.recdesk.com.
So, okay. All right.
To register for anything. That is our software program that allows people to register.
Good. Okay.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Hey, Derek.
Good morning, good morning. How are you all?
Well,
Thank you. So I wanted to let you guys know that we are gearing up and amping up for our next CERT program, our CERT training. A lot of people have asked, with these storms in the past, what can we do to help? CERT is one of those ways. I've given you guys a few print-offs for you guys to pass out within your districts. There's an email there that if citizens are interested in joining our CERT team, they can email us and get signed up. There's no obligation. There are 4 courses online through FEMA that are recommended that you take prior to the CERT class, but it is not required. We meet 2 nights a week for a few hours, and at the end of the training, we come together, we have a big exercise and kind of just put everything into practical use. You will triage some patients, you'll do a little fire extinguisher training, you'll actually put out a live fire. This is all under close supervision. We have a lot of subject matter experts there to give the classes and also in the practical exercises. So this year we will be doing it at the Carver Community Center on Tuscaloosa Avenue from 5 until 8:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays on those dates that we have listed down there. We have put this on our Facebook page, and if anybody has any questions, they can feel free to reach out to ema@cityofgadsden.com, and you can use that for questions or to register for the class.
I was going to say, I was thanking you for bringing this to our attention. This some necessary training, and I think it makes our community a lot stronger when citizens are able to take advantage of this knowledge that they can gain from doing this. You know, we've had, 3 storms in the last, or during the 8-day period, and
Correct.
a lot of activity, and luckily I don't think there was any loss of life or any major injuries, but still, you have to prepare for those. So
Correct.
thank you for doing that. Councilman Avery.
All right, my question is, what I'm receiving here recently, where are we with FEMA funds, you know?
So when it comes to FEMA funds and disasters, there is a threshold that the county has to meet as far as a dollar amount, and there is a threshold that the state has to meet when it comes to federal funding. Now, I know a lot of people have had trees on houses, trees on cars, and just trees in their yard. And, you know, some of our citizens are aging, and they can't go out there and run a chainsaw for 4, 5, 6 hours a day.
Absolutely.
So we're actually working on getting with some local churches, some volunteers, and reaching out to people and saying, hey, if you've got access to a chainsaw that you have training for, and I have a lead on some people that can come in and actually give a chainsaw class. I get that there are a lot of people out there that have run a chainsaw their whole life. There's a difference in running a chainsaw in your backyard, and there's a difference in running a chainsaw at a disaster site. But we're working on getting that help for our people that just can't do that.
Yeah.
We're also going to work with, we call them, they're commonly known as the Yellow Shirts, the Southern Baptist Chainsaw Crews.
Okay.
I'm setting up a meeting with them, and I'm also going to reach out to Team Rubicon. Team Rubicon is a veteran-based volunteer organization that deals specifically with things like this.
Yeah, they contacted me. That's for a post I put up. So are we still doing storm assessments?
Yes, we are. We're
Okay.
still getting calls and emails. They have slowed down, but we are still going out, we're still assessing, and we're still turning all of that information in to our state partners as required.
And so is that still EMA@cityofgaston.com, the way of contact?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And final question here. I still have seniors that are locked in at home that don't get out or as often that I promise storm radios. Do we have any radios available?
We don't have any ready to go.
Okay.
We don't have any available at the moment.
Okay.
However, I will get with you
Okay.
and we can work on something.
Okay.
Okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other department reports or committees or boards? All right, thank you. Item 19 is citizen requests. The first one today we have asked to speak is Neonta Williams. The topic will be Parent Symposium 2023 Year of Evidence Invitation. Ms. Williams, thank you for coming again to our city council meeting. You come every year, and it's important information. Thank you for being here.
Yes. Thank you. And I got excited because you said my name right, but that's what happens when you're at home, right? Everybody knows how to pronounce your name correctly.
Neonta, right? Is that
Neonta,
right?
yes, sir. That's
Okay,
correct.
great.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Mayor Ford, in his absence, I'm sure he's working into the council. First of all, thank you all for your service. I'm blessed to now serve on the school board in Birmingham, and so I know what it now feels like to hold the hat of public service. And so, thank you all. I'm really excited to be here this morning. Just wanted to come in. It's like having a guest in your home, to say that I'm having something here. I'm excited about bringing it back to Gadsden, or bringing it to Gadsden for the first time. I have the privilege of serving as the founder, executive director of a nonprofit organization that's called Black Alabamians for Education. And essentially our mission is to equip, inform, and empower Black families intentionally but inclusive of all about closing this academic gap that we have around K-12 education. And so this this parent symposium, I chose Gadsden. This is home. Finally have the resources to make it next level, to take it to the highest level that the state is going to see. And so this is the largest gathering of parents, community members, elected officials, business owners, and just community stakeholders who are concerned about education across the state of Alabama. So our nonprofit is busing in families from Dothan, from Huntsville, and from Birmingham. Chose those towns because oftentimes people have lack of access to reliable transportation to actually get somewhere. But I wanted to have it in Gadsden because, first of all, as I said, it's home. And then oftentimes we have events like this in major metropolitan areas, and our smaller communities do not necessarily have access to this kind of information. So it's going to be like a professional conference. There are going to be 6 breakout sessions where parents will be able to choose, or attendees will be able to choose which session they would like to go into. They're going to involve STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. We partner with the organization called Ed Farm that actually give hands-on experiences, and so parents will now be able to see what their students are experiencing in school or should be experiencing in schools. They're also going to have learning labs that will take place throughout the entire parent symposium. We'll have a session, and I don't have to go through all the different sessions, but I'm excited about one that I'm going to moderate. It's called Come On Ref, Blow the Whistle. And the reason why we're having that one is, one, because I also referee excuse me, I referee women's college basketball. But if you're a fan of any sport, and I heard the report earlier, you've sat in the stands at some point and yelled, "Come on, ref, blow the whistle." But because everybody gets excited about their kids participating in sports, but most parents are not aware of the academic requirements that start as early as middle school and not as late as high school. So we want those parents to hear from professionals, but administrators on the collegiate level that are going to talk about the academic requirements, and then also the quality of students that institutions are recruiting at this level. So that's another session. Then there's a session on really identifying what are those key qualities and characteristics that you should look for in a school. What are ways that you can partner as a parent to participate as a community member to ensure that the resources are there, that they're used appropriately, and then how do you support your children academically. And then finally, there are 2 panel discussions. There's one panel discussion at the end of the day that is actually going to be on the workforce industry. So we're bringing in, and Ms. Moffitt, I'm excited, is going to moderate that panel discussion. But we're going to bring in about 5 different individuals from across the workforce industry to talk about the importance of students graduating college and career ready. What does that employability opportunity look like for Alabamians? And then finally, and I think I've said finally twice, but our keynote speaker is Mr. Roland Martin. He is a nationally, I guess you could say, a really excited enthusiast about all things, and especially around education. So I wanted to bring someone in that could really fire up our attendees to really allow us to have a year of evidence, and that is actually our theme. A year of evidence, so that by the end of this academic year, parents and community members, business owners will be able to see that parents have gained, community members have gained information that can really support our students as they matriculate through K-12 education. So I have some flyers here. I want to say thank you to those who may be listening and watching later, and even now I know the council, some of you all have been sharing this on social media. I had a personal goal of at least 250 attendees attending the symposium, and we have exceeded that goal. So God is good. I'm really excited about what's about to happen, and I haven't even said where it's at. It's at the venue, right? So thank you all. Thank you for, again, your leadership, for having a venue like the venue that we can welcome people into this city of Gadsden, this city of champions, to make sure that this is a place that people want to live, reside, and work, and just see, what beautiful options we have here in this city. So thank you. Are there any questions? I talk a lot.
I just want to say thank you for the energy you're bringing to this room, and for the vision of your program. And I'm excited that you've already connected with Ruth Moffitt, because I was going to suggest that you definitely meet Ruth and connect with her. Our community needs what you're bringing, and thank you for choosing Gadsden. Thank you for choosing your hometown to have this. Anyway, I don't speak for the council, but I think I can. Any way we can help you, we would love to help you. But we can't do enough for our children and our students, and you, based on what I'm hearing, your program is outlined ideally to do just that, to help our students, help our families. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for what you're doing.
Yes,
And good
thank
luck
you.
on serving on the school board.
Thank you.
In Birmingham. That's a daunting task.
It's a huge task, but it's a blessing. It's really a blessing. Thank you all for hearing me this morning and giving me this opportunity to share. May
Anybody
I share
else
this
have any
with you? So
comments?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Williams.
Thank you.
All righty. Our next speaker this morning, that's a citizen request rather that is asked to speak, is Kane Aaron. Is Mr. Aaron here? I guess Mr. Aaron wasn't able to make it. His topic was public basketball court construction at Marana Park. That's the first, I mean, I heard about it when he made application. Jen, if there's any thoughts on that, I guess you would get with the mayor's office and discuss that. Maybe Mr. Aaron will reach out to us and maybe share his ideas or thoughts of a public basketball court at Marana Park, but always interested to hear what our citizens have to say in regards to that. All right, at this point, we'll go to remarks by the mayor and the council. Brett, do you have anything on behalf of the mayor that you'd like to share with us?
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of Mayor Ford, I want to thank everybody who came out to the public input meeting about the Eastern Connector project last week. Huge turnout. We had representatives from ALDOT and Volkert, the consulting firm working with ALDOT on that project. Mayor Ford had a meeting with the representatives in addition to that to kind of get a status update on where we are, and we feel good about it moving forward. A part of that is a public request that Mayor Ford wants to put out. There's going to be some information going on the city's website and social media today about how citizens can provide comment to ALDOT about this project. So they are requesting public feedback, and the more the better from Gadsden, Etowah County, any interested stakeholder. But that deadline is August the 11th for public comment on this project. So this is really kind of a last and final opportunity for people to say their piece about from our perspective, the importance of this project, not only for transportation, but of course for economic development and quality of life in Gadsden. So I want to ask everyone to please take a minute. You have several options. You can call ALDOT's phone number and leave your comments verbally. You can send an email. You can send a letter. They've made it as easy as I think possible. So we want to ask people to do that. Mayor Ford wanted to thank the Etowah Cares Group and the American Legion for their partnership with the mayor's office to get the War Memorial cleaned up at Patriots Park, there by Nakalula Falls. If you've seen the photos of before and after, it made a big difference. And again, as Mayor always says, it's those little things in our community that add up to make a big difference. So we wanted to say thank you for that. Some of you may have seen a post that the mayor made on his Facebook last week about debris pickup. Mayor Ford has charged the Public Works Department with putting together and piloting a couple of route scheduling options for debris pickup with the loader trucks. So last week that process began, and within 5 days the department deployed all 11 loader trucks that we have in our fleet today, and within 5 days they were able to collect 279 tons of debris, which is what people put on the roadside, out in front of your house to come pick up. So for context, that's 550,000 pounds of debris that our residents had in front of their houses ready to pick up by our department. So it gives you an idea of the breadth of this challenge logistically, to go around and pick it up consistently. So that was a good metric to start with, and we're going to keep track of that, get an idea, and within a couple of months, there should be a pretty consistent schedule that neighbors and residents can somewhat rely on better, to know, all right, this is my date or my timeline when my road may have loader trucks come through, so I know I'm going to wait until a day or so before that to put the stuff out on the road so it's not sitting there for a month or 6 weeks or so on. So that's exciting development, and we think that'll solve a lot of problems we've been hearing about since we took office. The other thing I just wanted to say on behalf of Mayor Ford is, next week starts school for a lot of people, and so he wanted to wish everyone a safe and successful back-to-school season and remind residents to be on the lookout. A lot of people moving out and about early in the mornings and in the afternoons that haven't been all summer. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Brett. All right. Councilman Robinson, will you start off the council remarks, please, from
Sure, Mr. President,
bringing us
thank you.
greetings from District 7?
Yeah, District 7. All I have is just a reminder again, we do have the largest yard sale going on starting on Thursday through Sunday. So just ask all the residents up there to be patient. If you need to get to the grocery store or go somewhere, give yourself a little extra time because you guys all know it's going to take a little time to get through there. And be patient with our out-of-towners and just hope everybody has a good time. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Manatra.
I just want to thank the mayor again and Tina King for allowing Public Works to work through a new process for the collection of debris and trash, and the fact that they were able to work on Saturday, which was the last Saturday of the month, which is also the opportunity for the landfill to be open until I think 11 o'clock, so that they were able to get an extra day to collect all that trash and debris. So thank you very much. I also want to just shout out to the Ritz Theater and the Theater of Gadsden. This past weekend was the last of the Always Patsy Cline, and the star of the show, Courtney Lim, did an outstanding job of portraying Patsy Cline, including unbelievably her vocal cords sounded just like her. So I just want to do a shout out to the Ritz and the Theater of Gadsden. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilman Wilson.
Yeah, just a couple of actually more direction because I'm been tied up, so I'm just sending this really to the mayor's office and some of the liaisons there. I just want to say this publicly. Number one, someone has run into the roundabout on Randall and Argyle Circle there. It's knocked out the lighting system on the roundabout, which obviously compounds the problem because at night nobody knows that there's a roundabout there. So it's been hit actually a couple of times now because there's no lighting on there. So if y'all can check on that. And other thing is a general message, but to Miss Williams, who contacted me about this. I think this goes without saying, but if the animal control or a representative from the police department could relay this message. I don't know what we can do about this, but we're having a raccoon and possum issue on 4th Avenue. This part should go without saying, but please do not feed raccoons and possums in your community. I know they may look cute when they're tiny and you might feel bad for them, but they grow up to be big and they terrorize your neighbors. So please do not feed wild animals that make their way into your yard, and contact animal control or contact me if it's in District 5, and I'll be happy to try to help with those issues. But it would really be helpful if neighbors did not feed raccoons and possum in their neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Avery.
Sure. Chestnut Station and the trademark downtown has taken a big loss along with the Hall family. So I want to start off with condolences to Percy Hall and his family on his dear lost great pool player. Along with other things, but we'll definitely be missing him at Chestnut Station during those pool tournament times. So to the Percy Hall family, my condolences to you, along with District 3. August 27th, community cleanup, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Volunteers are needed and wanted, inviting. We want to thank Gadsden City School System, the athletic department on our last cleanup that we had, or our first cleanup. Wonderful attendance. We also want to thank the 4th Street community there. I think Ms. Sarah Spears is the president there for coming out. SCLC also who attended. So we're asking for all of those members to come out again on August the 27th. This is a far advance notice. I know that the Rubicon group did get in touch with me because we put out an alert for help when it comes to trees that are needing cut out of personal or private property, rather, with some elders that are needing assistance. So we thank them for going ahead in advance and volunteering their time and their interests, and some others. Also, just to housekeeping. So CCRC, which is Carver Community Revitalization Committee, is having first Saturday, August 5th at Carver Square. This is a back-to-school edition. This is Saturday, August 5th. That time is from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And any volunteers or vendors that are interested, you can contact them on their Facebook page, and there's a number, but I do not have it listed. Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church there on Tuscaloosa Avenue is having a summer fling August the 19th. That's 1037 Tuscaloosa Avenue from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's a back to school public safety awareness event. I'll have more information to go along with this, with just making sure that we get some confirmations that will be some addition to this for the kids as well as families, because this is unique. It's again a back to school public safety awareness. There'll be free food, music, water slides, and bouncer houses. Bring friends, family, and neighbors. Everyone is invited. Come have fun in the sun before school year begins. Thank Shiloh for that event. We want to give a big shout out to football defensive coordinator Rayshawn Edwards and the volleyball head coach Amanda Lewis for their new positions at Gadsden City School. Rayshawn Edwards is the boys athletic director, and Amanda Lewis is the the girls athletic director. So and then Jesse Nunnally was promoted from assistant softball coach to the head softball coach. So Gadsden City, as the city of Gadsden is moving, Board of Education, Gadsden City School System, high school, just ready for football and ready for those sports and athletes to show us their talents and bring some championships home as well. So big ups to those members for their new positions, and looking forward for great work. Congratulations to Alabama A&M University on the amount of committed students from Gadsden City School. They have 26 students that will be going from Gadsden City High School to Alabama A&M. That is, in my opinion, a large number of students that's going to one school. It is always great to know that students are going from one level to the next, especially on the collegiate level, to a school that is known for its agriculture and agriculture, engineering departments. So we know and hope that that will fit along with what our country is going towards when it comes to these different fields that university offer. I believe at this moment, being that the EMA information was done out loud, that all I have to. Also, thank you for the prayers and thoughts as it goes in relation to my father. We're biting this elephant, eating this elephant one bite at a time. As I went to go see him last night, my Uncle Bill and I, and then this morning. It's a slow progression, very slow progression, but again, your thoughts and prayers are definitely needed. Thank you so much, and we'll keep those thoughts in mind, and thank you again.
Thank you. Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, everybody. Just want to thank Mayor Ford and his staff for the great work they're doing, and thank this council as well. We appreciate the Coach Rudolph Foundation for the sponsorship for those children, and the Coach Graves, who was here earlier, also Mr. Parker from Litchfield, just good friends of ours. We appreciate that foundation and all that they're doing. Of course, former Councilman Dedrick Williams. That's his father, for those that don't know. We just appreciate that for the opportunity for kids who otherwise might not be able to attend some of these camps and things. This was mentioned last week. I think it's worth mentioning again. Mayor Ford gave credit to Miss Tina and John for the river, all those trees being removed. I've been in Gadsden all my life. I've never seen the Coosa River looking like that. And I just want to give a shout out to you. It looks amazing. So to Public Works, whatever y'all need. If y'all need saws, ladders, bucket trucks, y'all let us know, because I never noticed those trees until now. Now every tree sticks out to me now since y'all started cleaning that river up. But it looks amazing, and I just want to let you know how much we appreciate that. And the last thing is, thank you, Ms. Williams, for that information. For those who can make it out to that symposium, please try to come. I know it's going to be great. If you never heard Roland Martin in person, I've heard him in person in Huntsville in April at an awards banquet I was attending. I've seen him on CNN, heard his podcast, but to hear him in person, you're in for a real treat. He never disappoints. And all I would say is make sure you buckle up and get ready. So that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilman Smith. Councilwoman Latham.
What you laughing at?
Thank you, President Beck. Thank you for those of you who are here in person as well as on social media. Roland Martin is a dynamic speaker, and so I've heard it said this way: you don't want to die and go to heaven before you hear Roland Martin. That's just how dynamic he is. And thank you, Ms. Williams, for bringing your vision home. And so we know it's going to be a big success, and we hope that everyone that can will attend that. Thank you to the mayor and Ms. King and Public Works. We started hearing results. We knew something was going on as far as the schedule, and so we know that will get even better as far as picking up the debris with the loader trucks and all. Just want to say to our superintendent and to our educators and staff and faculty, our students and parents, we are expecting an exciting school year and hoping that as we get ready to return to school, want to remember to pray for our children and cover our children in our system, that they will have a very safe, protected, and prosperous school year. Councilman Wilson talked about the possums and the raccoons in his district. In District 1, we have a problem with chickens and roosters, so hopefully we can get to the bottom of that. We were receiving calls this morning as it relates to that. So awesome day, as Councilman Robinson would say, of government, and we're excited about what's going on in Gadsden and those things that are yet to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe we ought to call I don't know if it's still around, but the Wild Kingdom TV show, maybe we ought to take advantage of this. Yeah.
Well, I do want to thank a member of our audience who recommended that we launch a spay and neuter program for our raccoon and possum population. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that we need to film that for sure. I want to echo the positive comments about the Coach Rudolph Foundation. As an aspiring young athlete a long time ago, I always read about Coach Rudolph. He was an outstanding athlete, and then later in life became even a more outstanding coach and mentor to young men in our community. And then his son, Dedrick, who used to serve on our council here for 3 terms, honored his dad by creating the Coach Rudolph Foundation, and there's a fantastic board that is furthering that foundation, and every year they're stepping up with scholarships and coaching and doing things just like Coach Rudolph had done for many, many years. So it's really good to see that, and that's going to make an impact in a lot of young people's lives over the next decade. So thank you to those individuals that work with the Coach Rudolph Foundation, and to Councilman Williams for his vision to form the foundation. I want to echo that school's starting back, and we will have children on bicycles and walking to school. Please slow down. outside of trash pickup and potholes, probably my most calls I get are speeding in District 4. It's just, I don't know why everybody's in such a hurry. I just don't get it. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting older and I'm slowing down, but just drive slower. You don't get there any faster. You're just hurrying up to stop at the next stop sign or the next stoplight. I always catch up with you on Rainbow Drive right when I'm sitting there and I'm looking at you laughing, but you never look back at me. So I'm going to start honking my horn and go, see, you didn't get there any quicker. So. Talking about me, aren't you? Yeah, talking about Councilman Robinson. So slow down. Please slow down. Be mindful of others. Big thanks to Public Works. They have a never-ending job. We never stop throwing out trash. We never stop putting debris on the street, so they're constantly picking it up and picking it up. Thank you for doing that. We don't have enough resources or employees in that department. I promise you the scheduling, and they're working as hard and as smart as they can. Please bear with us as we try to improve that situation. Last but not least, the Central Food Bank of Alabama is having a food giveaway this Thursday. That's August the 3rd, this Thursday at 9 a.m. at First Baptist Church, Gadsden. That's located at the corner of 5th and Walnut Street, downtown Gadsden. 30-pound box of food, no registration, no anything. It starts at 9 o'clock. When the 300 boxes are given away, then it's over. So if you know of a family that's in need or a family that has been suffering from food insecurity, that's what the Central Food Bank of Alabama is trying to combat. This is also in conjunction with Etowah County Food Bank. And so Marie Johnson, who's our director there now, is doing a fabulous job. This is about the 3rd or 4th month in a row the food bank in Birmingham has come to Gadsden to give food. I forget how many tons that Marie told me that we've received over the summer, but it's a lot. So stay tuned for that. There will be more to come, I'm sure, in the fall. But this Thursday, August 3rd, 9 a.m., First Baptist Church of Gadsden, Central Food Bank of Alabama will be giving away 300 boxes of food. If that's all, we have any other comments?
Can I add one little thing?
Sure, and I've got another one. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Well, I was just going to remind everybody, the City Council will meet in special session this afternoon at 1:30 to conduct public hearings and consider resolutions concerning nuisances. So, yeah, go ahead.
1:30, yeah. The river looks awesome. That's amazing how that looks when you're on the Rainbow Drive. But I know this is on the list. I know we've talked about it for months, but and I know Public Works is real busy, but if we could nudge them towards Black Creek up there at Knockalill Falls to get all that brush cleaned up and all that lifted up, where that creek would look beautiful. It would look beautiful for all our yard sellers coming in town if we get that done this week. That's all. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a great day. We stand adjourned.